Today I'm going to go over our feature online referrals. So this is something new to Hospitality Housekeeper, and what I'm showing you now we'll actually get to in a bit. First I want to go through what your end result will be for this. And eventually, once it all gets set up, we can set up an online referral form, or actually multiple, if you need that. We can set up an online referral form on your public-facing website. So this is our website, but on here I have an online referral form with quite a bit of different information. So patient details, you can have patient address, stay dates, guests. You can add guests to this. Additional information including like hospital info, diagnosis, your referral agent, basically anything that you track in a reservation, anything you capture in a reservation on Hospitality Housekeeper, it can end up on this form. And then we can also include things that don't go into Hospitality Housekeeper. This insurance section, for example, is something that a house might capture for outside of HHK purposes, but it can still go on the form. These just don't translate directly to fields in HHK. And then there's a spot for a signature down at the bottom and a submit button. So I mentioned that you can have a couple of these. This is sort of our long form example. And then we also have a very short little form with just patient details, hospital info, referral agents, and guest info, maybe your primary point of contact. So some houses may need more than one form, either more than one location of house, or this particular example was set up for a hospital staff to just fill out the basics, and then this one wouldn't actually get turned into a reservation. The staff would contact the family or the primary point of contact and then have the family fill out the longer form. So maybe it's a two-step process, and eventually we will get you through this referral form and get you through turning them into online reservations. Okay, so once that submit button is pressed, you have an option of sending an email to like a house staff email address, whether that's like reservations@yourhouse.org, whatever that is. But eventually, when they hit submit, you might get that email, that's your choice, but it'll also show up in this new referrals tab on your house site. So this is treated like an inbox. We've got 3 reservations here, 3 referrals. They're not actually yet reservations. 3 referrals, Hannibal, Humpty, and Harry. And one of them has already been viewed, so he's marked as in progress. So in terms of it being like an email, we see the 2 up here. That's just how many new ones you have, not maybe the number total that are in the inbox. From here, you can view it. You can also archive it or delete it. We know that training purposes, all the time, you might need to delete some out. You can also just archive it. Maybe it's not going to work that the family comes right now. For whatever reason, you archive it. But there's also this accepted bit here. So things in the inbox have a natural process of their own. These 3 have not been turned into reservations yet. Once they are, they'll move to the tab called accepted. So Dan the Man is on the wait list, and then Mickey Mouse's 2 different reservations are listed as confirmed. If a guest actually checks in, then they move these records move all the way to archived. Jessica Lanningham is checked in, Louisa Madrigal, and then some are checked out as well. And you'll also notice if their cancel codes were used. If there's nothing here, Mickey Mouse, it seemed like there were several reservations in May for Mickey. So this one got moved directly from the inbox to archived. That's why it doesn't have a reservation status. Okay, so turning one into a reservation. So we view the referral form. You as a house get to do whatever you need with this, but patient details are filled in somewhat. You have stay dates. looks like 3 guests, so they pressed that Add Guest button a couple of times. And signature down at the bottom. So you've got a couple options here. You can always print this if you need to, and then you can also create reservations. So let's try and do that. So now you see something new. This is where we actually try and figure out if Humpty Dumpty is already in HHK. It's that whole search bar thing where you always search for the name first to make sure to limit duplicates. You do that here too. Humpty Dumpty doesn't have anybody else who is named Humpty Dumpty in the system, so he is brand new. So we can just go to Save Patient. If there wasn't a previous Humpty Dumpty, that record would be listed here. You could compare the two and you could choose which one you wanted. Also, if like Humpty Dumpty, it's the same Humpty Dumpty, same birth date, same phone number, different address, maybe he's moved, you can update the address right here. You can take the new address and the old record. And then again, you would hit Save Patient. And then it does it for the guests as well. So we've got just 2, Henrietta and Howie. They both seem brand new, so again, there's no comparison there. So we're going to save guests. And then hopefully this gets turned into a waitlisted reservation. So this is what you're used to. Everything is in here. Everything should be attached to everybody else. We've got all their demographics that got filled out on the online form. That's it. Now it's just regular HHK business from there. So the question is, how do we get this set up? The easiest way is to send us a list of what you want on your form. So actually here you see we have a form builder. It's called Form Builder. And you can see your 2 different forms, the short form and the long form. You can title them whatever you need to. It's a pretty easy, once you get it all set up, it's pretty easy to change something. You can edit each field. If your phone number changes, please call 815. We'll change it to ours, something similar to ours. And then it's changed, and you can, if we scroll down a little bit, scroll, save and publish. And then that would be updated on that form updated successfully. It's already updated on the website. But getting it set up initially is pretty onerous, is probably a good word. It takes some time. It's a little fiddly. So if you want to have a go, you are welcome. All you need to do is you drag drop patient details over. And now we have 2 patient details sections, but everything about your patient is going to be in here, minus the address. But you've got everything that HHK collects. So prefix, first name, last name, suffix, middle name, nickname, all the things. If you don't want these on your form, you can just delete them out. Birth date, and then all of the demographics that we can tell you track, all the demographics you have on phone and email. So then it's probably patient address comes after that. Whoop. And we see that street, zip code, what you expect to find in patient address. And then maybe guests and guest addresses, etc. And you just kind of start working down the list. Most of the things are here. Hospital info, referral agent, also includes the doctor in that one. And then you can, for this insurance section, which is not tied to fields in HHK, you can set up like a paragraph. And these are called, I think these ones are radio groups. And this is a text field. So you just play around, you add what you need, you make them mandatory or not. So this little asterisk here is required. If we uncheck that, hopefully you can see the little asterisk disappear. But it's fiddly to get it looking exactly the way you want it to. You can preview what you've done. Let's see if this will come up. There we go. Patient details, patient address, patient details, patient address. And then you can also set up your form settings. So here is where Oh, when they hit the submit button, they get a little message. The form has been submitted, we'll be in touch. So you can edit what that is. And then this bit is where we make it look like your website. You're probably going to want help with this. This dark red obviously doesn't really match the blue and green of our website. The font is different, but we can make it match whatever yours is. To an extent, as long as Google Fonts has something very close, we can make it happen. And then you can also, so on your form, there is an add guest button, and you get to define how many initially show up and then how many there are maximum. So that's up to you. And then we have options for reCAPTCHA. We recommend doing that so you don't get spammed so often. Yeah, but you might have questions about these. We are here to answer. Again, let me reiterate that you might choose to have us set this up, and we are more than happy to do that. It can be, yeah, I think I've said the word fiddly too often. But if you are also more than welcome to just have a go on your own. And then hopefully in the end, this turns out great and it saves you a lot of retyping time. Oh, there is one more thing that I need to show you. Back in Resource Builder, back in Form Builder, I need to show you how this ends up on your website. So once this is all set up, once you have it the way you want it to look, and you've previewed it probably 13,000 times to make sure it's good, you're going to hit this button, Copy Form Embed Code. And then that goes to a new page, whatever page you have set up on your website. So this is WordPress, this is the back end of our website. And you do this. That did change, I promise. This is it. This is one line of code that you need to set up as on this new page, wherever you want your online referral to live. The way we do this is called an iframe, and it's how we can get it to look like your website. So, you know, your colors, your fonts, your styles, but it's actually us sort of projecting something onto your website, which means that it's behind all of our security walls. So this is a nice and secure way of doing this. So you copy your little thingy, your little code snippet, you hit update, publish whenever you're ready. The only thing that you might have to fiddle with, or the only thing you are going to have to fiddle with, is the height. So the default is 1,000 long, but your referral form is probably going to end up longer than that. And so in order for there not to be a double scroll bar, like a window within a window, you're going to need to change that little bit to, I think mine is often like 2,500. But play around with that little number and get it to a point where it looks good on your page with enough little space for your submit button down at the bottom. Okay, now I think that's the end of my spiel. So thanks for watching this intro to Form Builder and to online referrals. You will probably have loads of questions. Get in touch via email or give us a call. This is not actually our phone number, but you should know it if you're watching this. Yeah, and we hope to hear from you soon, and hopefully this new feature can be of really great use to you. Cut down on double data entry. Okay, bye-bye.